Well, if you Google the word talent, then the most responses that you might receive would be about the popular reality TV show America's Got Talent. A show about people from all walks of life who audition for a chance to be on the live show and have a chance of winning $1 million. You know, I don't personally watch the show. Sometimes it might be on when I turn the TV on, or most of the time I see little clippets on my news feed on my computer when I turn my computer on at times. And most of the time, those highlights of the show are of I guess, the best moments, if you will. Usually it focuses on someone who looks like they might not have any talent at all, and they do something spectacular, and so it's up there for you to see it. It could be someone who has gone through a tremendous and a circumstance in their life, or had a bad life, if you will, and then they turn that life around and use their God-given talent in a spectacular way. And those times they kind of captivate me when I see the headline and I see the person. It makes me want to click on it. That's the whole purpose of it being on my news feed, and look at it and see what talent they have and how they have used it, and am I shocked by it or not? You know, only One Act Play used America's Got Talent theme and structure, I guess, the format as a fundraiser a couple of weeks ago. Raised almost $4,000 for the talented people here in Albany. And you may have gone to that or read about that in the paper. But the fact is, and like I told the children this morning, we all have talent. We all have talent. The word talent comes from the ancient Greek, which describes a particular weight of money, specifically gold, but there are other weights of copper and silver and such. But specifically, it's used for a talent of gold. It talks about a weight of gold. When the term came into the English language in the Middle Ages, it was a term that we use it for our God-given abilities. We call them in the church the gifts and graces that God has bestowed upon each and every one of us. In our scripture today from Matthew's Gospel, the 25th chapter, the term is used interchangeably as an amount of weight of gold, if you will, to express the extreme value of that which God has entrusted to us, entrusted to you, and entrusted to me. So let me put this in today's perspective before we read the parable this morning. A talent in Jesus' day was equal to 6,000 denarii. Now, a denarii was the amount a common person could earn in one day. And so that would be, a talent would be worth about 16 and a half years worth of labor for the common wage earner. So in today's language, in Texas, the minimum wage being $7.25 an hour, an average day being 9 hours, so a day's wage would be about $65.25. You times that times 6,000, and you get $391,500 for one talent. Still 16 and a half years worth of labor for the common person, like most of us. Two talents would be valued at $783,000, and 5 talents would be valued at $1,957,500. So that's a lot of talent. That's a lot of value, and That's the point of the parable, to get that figure in your head and in your heart and in your mind of the value when we read this parable. So turn with me, if you will, to the Bible that you brought with you to church this morning, or Pew Bible, a Bible app, however you access the Word of God for yourself this morning. And we'll be looking at the Matthew 25 again. We'll pick up on the 14th verse and read through the 30th verse. Hear the word of the Lord. For it is as if a man going on a journey summoned his slaves and entrusted his property to them. To one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, to another 1, to each according to his ability. Then he went away. The one who had received the 5 talents went off at once and traded with them and made 5 more talents. In the same way, the one who had the 2 talents made 2 more talents. But the one who had received the 1 talent went off and dug a hole in the ground and hid his master's money. After a long time, the master of those slaves came and settled accounts with them. Then the one who had received 5 talents came forward, bringing 5 more talents, saying, Master, you handed over to me 5 talents. See, I have made 5 more talents. His master said to him, Well done, good and trustworthy slave. You have been trustworthy in a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Enter into the joy of your master. And the one with the 2 talents also came forward, saying, Master, you handed over to me 2 talents. See, I have made 2 more talents. His master said to him, Well done, good and trustworthy slave. You have been trustworthy in a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Enter into the joy of your master. Then the one who had received the 1 talent also came forward, saying, Master, I knew that you were a harsh man, reaping where you did not sow, and gathering where you did not scatter seed. So I was afraid, and I went and I hid your talent in the ground. Here, you have what is yours. But his master replied, You wicked and lazy slave. You knew, did you, that I reap where I did not sow and gather where I did not scatter? And why then you ought to have invested my money with the bankers, and on my return I would have received what was my own with interest. So take the talent from him and give it to the one with the 10 talents. For to all those who have, more will be given, and they will have an abundance. But from those who have nothing, even what they have will be taken away. As for this worthless slave, throw him into the outer darkness, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. The word of God for the people of God. Thanks be to God. Wow. I know that some of you are thinking, when's this man going to go on his journey so I can have my talent or my talents? It's kind of like the preacher who stood up to address his congregation one day about the financial struggles that the congregation was having. And he stood up and he said, I just want to tell you that we've got plenty of money. And you could just hear the sigh of relief over the whole congregation. And then he continued to say, but the only problem is it's still in your pockets. And that's the way it is with the talents. There's plenty of talents in this place. Plenty of talent in our world. The problem is it's still within us. It's still within us. So I want you to remember that we're still within the context of last week in this 25th chapter of Matthew. The kingdom of heaven will be like. And then Jesus, last week, if you remember, Jesus told the parable about the 10 bridesmaids. 5 were foolish and didn't prepare for the coming of the bridegroom, and 5 were wise and they did prepare. And when the bridegroom came, the 5 wise bridesmaids were able to enter into the wedding celebration, and the others were left out outer darkness, where there was weeping and gnashing of teeth. And now Jesus gives another example this morning in this 25th chapter. A landowner went on a long journey. That landowner is Jesus in this parable. And this parable has already partially come to pass. He died and he rose again, and he ascended into heaven. And now we are waiting for him to return in final victory. And we're living in the here and now, living in the delay, waiting for Christ to return. Before the landowner left, he entrusted his property to his servants. He invested, if you will. He invested everything. All that he is and all that he will ever be, he entrusted into his servants. With full confidence. With no reservation that his investment would prosper. And we all know about investing. It doesn't matter who you are. We all invest our time, our talent, and our treasures in something, somewhere. And we're all smart enough to know that when we invest as wisely as we can. Because we want the best return for our investment, right? You know, I invest some money in some of my income in retirement so that I can live in retirement without being a burden on someone else. I invest in my marriage so that I will have a long and meaningful life of joy with the person that I vowed my life to many, many years ago. I invest in my job, in my ministry, that I can hopefully make a difference in as many people as I possibly can. We invest. We all invest. The question is, do we invest wisely? Is our investment self-centered, or is our investment Christ-centered? We are the servants in this parable. Jesus has invested in us. Jesus has invested in you, and Jesus has invested in me. Now look at the parable here. Consider the value of the investment. Wow. Nobody hearing this parable would be able to comprehend that amount of property entrusted to anyone. And Jesus knew that. It's like the news feeds of the America's Got Talent. You know, they put up there what will grab your attention, and that's what Jesus does here. Jesus, who had never personally seen this kind of money, used an outlandish example to symbolize and try to explain the value of the property he entrusted. What was this property? It's the gospel. It's the gospel message of Jesus Christ. And it's the only thing in existence that has that kind of value. A value that it is so great that it cannot be described this side of heaven. But it has come near. Matthew chapter 4, chapter 10 tells us. It is among us, and it is within us. Luke chapter 17 tells us. And it has been entrusted to those who call themselves Christians. It is the way and the truth and the life of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, John 14 tells us. It has the power to love, heal, and forgive. It has changed more lives than any amount of money in the entire world. It has pulled lives out of the gutter, made the filthiest rags white as snow, and ushered many a soul into the kingdom of heaven with the sound of the angelic host. But remember, we are living in the delay. the now, and the not yet, waiting for Christ to return from his long journey. Without the servants of God, those who call themselves Christians, using their God-given talents, those gifts and graces entrusted to them by God for sharing the gospel, sharing it, offering it, embodying it, making it available to the people around them. Without that service, you might as well dig a hole and bury it. You might as well put it on the coffee table and let it collect dust. You might as well put it in the dresser drawer and never look at it, because it will never do anything in those places. There is no way that it could ever prosper in those places. Folks, the talents are your gifts and graces, your abilities given by God to be used for sharing the gospel, the good news of Jesus Christ, and the salvation that Christ offers the entire world. Each of us are unique in that we have different talents. Some have more than others, some have less than others, but the parable teaches that we all have talent. One of your talents might be monetary resources. If it is, how are you using that for the glory of God? One of your talents might be a kind and encouraging word. How are you using that for the glory of God? One of your talents might be singing, preaching, welcoming, loving, nurturing, caring, teaching, administration, construction, planning, cooking, nursing, building, helping. The list could go on. How are we using our talents for the glory of God? Notice in the parable, everybody got talent. Everybody got it. The amount of the talent is not the focus. It is the fact that everyone was expected to use the talent that was given to them. It's not how much that matters to God. It's what you do with it that matters to God. 1 Peter 4:10 says, like a good steward of the manifold grace of God, serve one another with whatever gifts each of you has received. When Paul wrote to the church in 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verses 4 through 6, Paul said this, now there are a variety of gifts, but the same Spirit. And there are varieties of services, but the same Lord. And there are varieties of activities, but it is the same God who activates all of them in everyone. You can be the poorest person on the face of the earth and still be a 5-talent servant. What is your talent? How are you using it? Don't say that you don't have any, because that's just an excuse that we use for not using it. This whole parable this morning focuses more on the 1-talent servant than it does on the other 2. And you can tell in verses 24 and 25 of our parable that the 1-talent servant, he has no clue who his master is. He had no relationship with him at all. Because we've already been told how generous and how trusting the master was. But the 1-talent servant, he didn't know this. He didn't know him. The 1-talent servant is described as wicked and lazy because he buried his talent and didn't use it for the best interest of the master. John Wesley once said, are we hiding the talent God has given us? And the great preacher, Clovis Chappell, Methodist preacher, Clovis Chappell, he said, if you make no difference in your community, in your church, in your home, then whatever else you are, you're not a Christian. And Dr. James Merritt, Baptist minister, He asked, did Jesus make a good investment when he saved you? You know, in America's Got Talent, there's a golden buzzer if you watch the show. It's rarely used, but it's available to the judges just in case they see some tremendously unbelievable talent during the auditions. And they call it the golden buzzer moment. And the recipient is automatically advanced to the live show. Straight to the live show. No more auditions, no more competitions before they get there. They're advanced to the live show. And when the buzzer is pushed, there's all kinds of bells and whistles and streamers and confetti and all kinds of stuff. It's a grand celebration. I want you to know this morning that your talent, the talent that you possess, is a gold buzzer talent. It is of gold buzzer quality. You have been advanced to the live show, to the here and now. My question is, that I want to leave you with this morning, is there buried talent in this place? Let us pray. Father, we thank you for your word this morning. And we thank you for all the gifts and grace that you shower upon us every day. By the power of your Holy Spirit, nudge us to use that talent for your glory. In Christ's name we pray. Amen. Our closing hymn this morning is found on page 419. I am thine, O Lord. This is your moment.